Do you ever find yourself saying, classic hardcore is such a walk in the park? What I need is a real challenge because this is far too easy. No? Well, me neither, but that didn't stop us from creating the hardest add-on for classic WoW, which is designed to make the game more challenging, intense and sweat-inducing, with features such as hidden player health bars, hidden enemy health bars, hidden enemy levels, and many, many more brutal features. With your suggestions, we built this add-on together. So if you have any ideas on how to make this even harder, drop it in the comments and I'll make sure I build it into the add-on. This is Ultra Hardcore. We wanted to make this add-on as accessible as possible, and that's why we decided to add this settings panel. In here you can toggle any of the features of this add-on on or off. I've also prepared pre-selected settings, and those are light, recommended and experimental. These are settings that I think work well together and provide a sort of difficulty level, but it is entirely down to you which settings you have selected. Now let's jump into the showcase, and I'll start with the light section, which only has the tunnel vision and the hidden player frame features selected. Now this really helps create those oh shit moments. As your health drops, your vision is obscured. The natural reaction to low health, at least for cowards like me, is to run away. But without any vision, you can't see what potential danger you're running into. So you could be making your situation a whole lot worse. Like in this clip where I tried to run away from Hogger and pick up a bunch more ads, putting my character in a whole lot more trouble. Because we've moved the player frame, we're now missing some key bits of information. Those being your resource bar, which shows how much rage, how much mana or how much energy you have. We've got your combo points, which you'll get as rogues or as feral druids. All of these would usually sit on your player frame, but because that's hidden, we now need a new place for them to live. So we've made a custom resource bar. You'll either get a rage bar, a mana bar, or an energy bar, unless of course you're a druid, in which case you'll be flipping between the three of them. Now this bar is draggable, so if you don't like its position, you can move it to wherever you want it. And of course, if you're a rogue or a feral druid, you'll get your combo points as well. Now this is only the easiest of the three selections, so you'll understand why our current record in the community is only level 20. But if you think that you can beat that, then I invite you to put your money where your mouth is and join us. We have a Discord server which I'll put in the description below, in which we talk about possible changes to the add-on and keep each other updated on our own personal progress. Next up we have the recommended settings. This includes all of the settings from Lite and some extras. This time we have the enemy health and levels hidden, making any encounter a risk, causing you to think twice before diving in and giving you that sweet dopamine kick whenever you survive a fight. We should talk about grouping because that is a huge part of the game. First of all, when you're invited to a party or invite someone else to a party, you'll be presented with the option to disable the add-on. If you decline to disable it, you'll automatically post a message into the party chat warning everyone in there that you're using this add-on. This is to make sure that everyone you're playing with knows exactly what you're doing and the risk that they will be putting themselves in by including you in their party. Raids and parties were a really hard one to figure out exactly how we wanted them to feel, because it poses a big problem, especially on healers. It's all well and dandy hiding everyone's health just to keep in line with the theme of the add-on, but when it actually comes to group content, how on earth is the healer meant to know who's dying and who's fine? And what we came up with to stay in line with the theme of the add-on, but also make it so that healers can do the job, I think is quite impressive. Within range of an ally, so you have to be physically close to them, you'll get an idea of what their health is, indicated by an icon. As the player loses health, this icon will get more prominent and more red, and if you stray too far away from your teammates, you won't get this health indicator, so you have to stay close to your teammates. The minimap is hidden, which makes farming resources and tracking enemies a little bit harder, but also helps you get really immersed into the game. A lot of add-ons out there are making it so that you can play this game in your sleep. We're going in the other direction. We want you to have to read the quests, search for materials in the world, be afraid and on edge all of the time. High hopes. I know there's bears over here. I'm getting myself killed. Oh, no, it's just a cow. And then on recommended, we also have the daze effect. This is simply meant to obscure your vision a little bit more and give you a more realistic dazing effect, just to help a little more with that immersion. And now lastly, we have the experimental settings. This just means that everything is turned on. Now the reason that some of these aren't in the recommended section is because some of them are crowd dividers. And it also means that we can play around with new ideas without enforcing them upon your average player. Now one of my favourite experimental features is the rested action bars. And what this does is hide basically all of your UI when you're not in a safe zone. So the idea behind this is that you have to go to a safe zone to set up your action bars, so your abilities and your cooldowns and all of your key bindings. And then when you go out into the big, open, scary world, you have to remember where you put them. And you also have to try and keep track of when you last used your cooldown, because you won't be able to see when it comes off. I'm sure that you understand now why we've got the experimental section, because not everyone is a fan of this. Another experimental feature we've got is called Group Found. And you could probably guess by the name what it does. It stops all trading with anyone who is not within your guild. So players who aren't in your guild cannot trade with you and you can't trade with them. The same applies for sending mail. Mail will automatically be sent back if it's not from a guild member. And you're also banned from using the auction house. Again, I'm sure you'd understand why this is experimental, because it's quite a niche thing to want to do. The final experimental feature we've got is called the crit effect. And the way that it works is that when you receive a crit, your screen will be thrown in a random direction, as shown in this clip. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous, and I love it. It's just like giving the effect of you being punched so hard that you're literally getting knocked off your feet. And when you're in like a high stakes situation, it's really disorientating, and it's brilliant. Just ups the risk. I love it. We then also spent a little bit of time creating this statistics panel. Originally, the only thing that we wanted in there was the lowest health reached, because we thought that's quite an interesting statistic to know, just how close you've been to death before. But then we figured, why not extend this and show how many elites you've slain and how many enemies you've slain. And of course, as always, we're open to any other idea of any type of statistic that you think would be good to put in this panel. You'll also automatically join a chat channel when you log in, which will let you stay connected with other ultra hardcore players, but it will also do important things like announce player deaths who are using the add-on, and announce any important significant level ups that they get, such as 10, 20, 30, and so on. The codebase is publicly available, so that means that anyone can contribute to it, and in fact we have already had people creating their own suggestions and pushing it into the add-on themselves, which has been amazing to see. Obviously it has to go through the vetting process first, so you don't just get any old cowboy putting in crazy features, so don't worry about that. But I'm honestly so happy to see the amount of support and enthusiasm for this add-on. We have a fair few additional features that we're still working on, for example challenges, which you may remember from the original hardcore, and found in things like old school RuneScape leagues, where basically the idea is you get points for achieving certain things. These could be achieving certain levels, killing certain enemies, and then some fun things as well, like solving riddles. But our next major goal is to complete a dungeon with everyone in the party using the add-on. So if that's something that you're interested in, please do join us. Now this is a very small channel, and I've really been enjoying working on it, and would really like to do more. So, if you enjoy this sort of content, where I'm making add-ons and plugins based on your suggestions, please consider subscribing. It will help a lot, I think. I actually have no idea how YouTube works. Something you don't really notice when you haven't got... What? Oh no. Oh, I wasn't thinking at all.